Yo, what's up, y'all? Yo, we got to go over a disrespectful tweet that I just saw. I mean, this was just so blasphemous that I just had to react to it. Let me go to it. Hold on. Okay, it's from a guy named Mad Slander. Mad Slander, you should never, and I mean never, listen to hip hop music again. You should never talk about hip hop music again. You should just go somewhere and just be quiet, okay, when it comes to hip hop music. This man said the game has a better music catalog as a soloist than the game minus the documentary. That is that's first of all, let's see what people said in response to this. They're basically sharing memes that's like, bro, what? Um Somebody actually agreed with it. Um Somebody said the documentary is mostly 50 Cent giving him hits. Dre and the label giving Game the best tracks in production. He's mid, even at his highest peak. The game was average AF with a machine and cosigns. That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody said, you tripping, but I get it. The game is not popular these days. Exactly. This is the perfect time for y'all to go slander the game because he's not a very popular guy right now. Um, this guy named Grizzly Rowe. Nah, the documentary 2, Doctor's Advocate, Jesus Peace, Drillmatic, 1992. Chill. Somebody actually said, I agree 100%. In my opinion, the documentary is the only good album he put out. That's wild. Here you go. I like this tweet. Okay, at this point, I am not sure how to view some of these takes. You could literally take away the game's first three albums and it still wouldn't be a fair comparison for Jim Jones. Exactly. The Red Album, Jesus Peace, the documentary 2 and 2.5, 1992. These four have enough to trump Jim Jones. That's a fact. The game is way better than Jimmy. Stop the nonsense. Facts. Um, So let me give my thoughts on this. First of all, I love Jim Jones. Jim Jones is awesome. And I think Jim Jones is one of those rappers who has been getting better as he's gotten older, which is like really crazy when you think about it. Like he's just gotten better and better and better and better and better. So I actually like the fact that people are saying how good Jim Jones is, that people are saying that Jim Jones has a good catalog. But let's be honest here. To me, the Jim Jones's best album came out in 2019, El Capo. That album was freaking spectacular. I mean, you got State of the Union. He got the track with Currency. What's the track with Sports Cars? Um, what else? What else did I like on that? New York City with Fat Joe. Crystal Occasions. That album was freaking phenomenal. So dope album. And I'm not saying that Jim Jones has put out some whack albums or his all his albums are just trash. But what I am gonna say is that he can't compete with Game. Let's pull up the Game's catalog because, and I've said this, I think Game is one of the most underrated rappers of all time. I think Game's catalog is extremely underrated. It really, really pisses me off when people be like, the documentary is the only good Game album. The Game ain't had a hit since the documentary, which is just 100% not true. let's just discuss Game's catalog real quick. Let's go over this. Let's exclude the documentary. Doctor's Advocate went #1 on Billboard charts, platinum. Classic album. This album, a lot. Even the Game himself has said that he likes this album better than the documentary. He had hits on this album. Wouldn't Get Far, One Blood. What are y'all talking about? The documentary is not the documentary, I'm sorry. Doctor's Advocate is a fantastic album. I mean, that album is better than Jim Jones' entire catalog. I'm sorry. But let's just say you don't agree with Doctor's Advocate. He got LAX, Gold album. Let's say you don't like LAX. He got the Red album. Red album was dope. And here's one of my favorite. The Game albums, Jesus Peace. Do y'all not know how good that album was? That album was. I always felt like that album was that the source ranked it as the third best album of 2012. Come on, man. Let's keep going. The Documentary 2, great album. The Documentary 2.5, great album. 1992, great album. Like the Game consistently puts out stellar albums. Okay? The Game's weakest albums, the Game weakest album might be LAX. And even LAX was a good album. So I'm confused by this tweet. This makes no sense. Born to Rap, 2019, arguably in consideration for one of his best albums. Look, check this out. Born to Rap was met with widespread critical acclaim. In 2019, and this was his 10th album. 10th. The album he put out last year, Drillmatic, Heart vs. Mind, dope album. Wasn't his best, but you better believe it wasn't a garbage album either. So I just, that just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me at all. The Game has had way more hits. And the thing about this, like, people love to slander the Game, but let's not forget, the Game had a hit record last year, Easy with Kanye West. It went number 49 on the Billboard charts. Before that, went a few years without having a hit. He had a hit, All Eyes with Jeremiah, 79 on Billboard, certified gold, independent. El Chapo, I'm sorry, went gold in 2015. What are y'all? This makes no sense. And again, I'm not trying to take away from Jim Jones's catalog, but to say he has a better music catalog than the Game is blasphemous. And even if you don't like the Game, y'all need to start showing the Game some respect. That y'all let me know what y'all think, because that's just blasphemous to me. He should never be allowed to speak on hip hop ever again.